Hello guys, and welcome to day 3 of the advent of cyber, and today we'll be looking at Splunk, the basics, and it's titled Did You SIEM? There's a meaning for this, we're going to see that later. Learn how to ingest and pass custom log data using Splunk. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So the introduction. What is the story for today? It's almost Christmas in Wareville, and the team of the best festival company TBFC is busy preparing for the big celebration. Everything is running smooth until SOC dashboard flashes red. A ransom message suddenly appears. Attack 1000 HubSec coins for McCity or SOC mass ends tonight. So the message comes from a King Malher, the jealous ruler of HubSec Island, who's tired of Easter being forgotten. So he sent his bandit bunnies to attack TBFC's system and turn Christmas into his new holiday, East Mass. Now with McCity missing and the network under attack, the TBFC SOC team will utilize Splunk to determine how the ransom infiltrated the system and prevent King Malher's plan from being compromised before Christmas. And here we have Splunk as a platform for collecting and storing and analyzing machine data. That's basically what it is. So the learning objective here is to inject and interpret custom log data in Splunk, create and apply custom field instructions, and use search processing language SPL to filter and refine search results. We're also going to conduct an investigation with Splunk to uncover key insights. Now we're going to connect to the machine. Today we're not going to be using the attack box, we'll be using the VM and also a direct link. So without further ado, let's just start that here. And it usually takes a minute, so once it's ready we would click on this link. I think it's ready already, so let me click on this. So we are assessing that, and also note that if you get a 502 error, just give it time for the Splunk instance to fully boot up. So I actually experienced that, so yeah, just give it time. And with that being said, we can check this now. Great. Yeah, if you've been following my videos, you know this makes a lot of sound, and I figured it out. I had to turn that off in settings. And let's head on to task 2, where we make go through these things. Alright, our Splunk interface is ready, and today I'm not going to walk through all this. You could just read them off, but we're going to be basically going through everything here while we try to solve the tasks or the challenges for today. So let's just scroll down to the questions here. So first, when we open up this plan, we're going to be using that search and reporting. That's mostly what we're going to be using here. So we'll click on that, and when we do that, it takes us here to the interface here. Here's a search bar where we can query and search anything we want to search. And over here you can see the time. You could want to set for all the time, because if you search for 24 hours, well, we only have the data for 24 hours. So set for all time, and here we're going to use what we call index equals to main. Index equals to main, as you can see here. And let me just put this off, and let's just search. Voila. So we have about 18,744 events, and like I said, here is a search bar, and we can query from there. We also have an histogram that gives us a rough estimate of the events per month. Yes, October. Okay, not per month like in a month, but per day. Yeah, in 20 days, as you can see here. You can actually click on page 2 here and keep going. So basically that's what we see here, as we can see. Yeah, so also we could also see some selected field here. We could look at the source type, and we could see here the sources come from 2 main sources. One is web traffic, which has over the 91% of the data, and we also have firewall logs as well. So we could actually sort by the source type. Okay, and looking at the question we have here, we have what is the attacker IP found attacking and compromising the web server. Usually we could look at the IP coming from the web traffic, so we're going to sort by web traffic, and whatever you click or the field you're sorting would appear right here in the search bar as a query. Okay, so as you can see, the events now reduced to 17,172. Okay, so remember what we are looking for is an IP address. So if you click on client IP here, we could see that we have normal IP ranges. First of all, you can notice the difference. We are actually doing investigation here, so we can see 192.168, 192.168 all in the same category here, and the count for the client is 33222. So this looks very normal, but this doesn't. So we have an IP address that seems quite different. So we could say obviously that this is the IP address that we are being asked for here that is compromised in it. So we can try that, and that is the correct answer. And then we move over to the next question. It says, which day was the peak traffic in the logs? So the format is year, month, day. Now if we come over here, still under this, we could want to check for the peak traffic, what day. So we could see here through the Instagram, and if I click on next, basically we have within these days, this is when the whole thing happened. This whole event happened between October 1 and October 21, and from here I could see the highest one here is through the Instagram, of course, with 2,267 events, and we have 2012 and so on. So 2,267, and basically this happened on October 12, 2025. So I could come here 2025, and we have dash, and October is 10, and then we have 12, and let's check that. Correct. So the next question is, what is the count of Havich user agent events found in the log? What is the count of Havich user agents? So now let's look for still under the subtype, which is actually the web. So we're looking for user agent. Do we have any user agent here? Yes, we do have a user agent here, and we do have Havich. We can see Havich here, or Havich here. Basically that's the user agent, and we are looking for what? The count 993. So let's put that in, and great. So how many path traversal attempts to access sensitive files on the server was observed? So path traversal is more like what attackers use to access sensitive data by using going straight to a specific file. And this path traversal, we could come here to search under path, under this field called path, and this is a path traversal. This is what usually starts with dot slash. This is a path traversal method, and the question is, how many path traversal attempts to access this sensitive file? We had this should be it, right? This should be what we need. That should be 658. Let me check that. I'm not quite sure. Correct. So that's what we need. And then we also have to examine the firewall logs. How many bytes were transferred to the C2 server IP from the compromised web server? Now we are going to change from this web traffic, and we're going to go into the source type, which is firewall logs. Now that we're here, the question is asking how many bytes were transferred to the C2 server IP, source IP. Okay, let me see here. We do have a source IP, one source IP here. Great. So we sort by that source IP, and the destination IP should be the one of the hacker, and that should be this. Great. So we have for firewall logs from source IP to the destination IP, which is the IP of the attacker, and then we can see the bytes transferred here, but we can't get the total. We are looking for the total, I believe, how many bytes, so the total bytes in general. So we're going to use pipe. Pipe is more or less what we use to add an addition to what we have. So we have pipe, and then we want to get the statistics. So basically we use stats in that way to show up here in the statistics. So and we could use count or sum, I guess. So let's use count. Is that count or sum? Let me see if it's sum. Yeah, sum. So we have sum byte transferred, and then we can run this query, and under the statistics here we could be able to get the total number of bytes, and we'll put that in here and hit check. Voila. So we do have that solved. If you enjoyed today's room, you're going to check out the incident handling with Splunk room to learn more about analyzing logs with Splunk. So today I didn't I'll check that now. Today I didn't really walk through the whole basic reading and all that. You can read that up and be able to answer the questions as well. So thank you for studying with me today. Thank you for learning with me. I'll see you guys in the next day, and ciao.